Hi folks, and welcome to Windows in the Cloud, our new tech series dedicated to Windows 365 for IT pros like yourself. So I'm very excited to be joined by Jodeep, an AVD and all-round virtualization veteran, to talk about Windows 365 Business and all the updates that we just announced and released today. So Jodeep, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's so exciting to talk about Windows 365 Business with you again.
Yeah, it's great to have you, and I know already what you're talking about, so I'm very excited to see what you have in store for the viewers and the audience here. But before we do that, can you tell a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. So, as you said, I've been around the virtualization space for some time now at Microsoft. It's been, I think, the better part of 6 years, and I started around RDS. Went on to Azure Remote App, and then we did, of course, Azure Virtual Desktop. And at that time, when Azure Virtual Desktop got released, we decided that there can be a category-defining move that we can make in the product, which was the dream of Windows 365. So, and at that time, the pandemic hit, and so Windows 365 is the fruit of our toils over the last I want to say 18 months. So it's been an exciting journey for sure.
Yeah, and just for the audience here, we are explicitly talking about Windows 365 Business today, but there's an enterprise product too, which we covered with Scott Manchester more in the previous episode. But this episode is more about the business version as well as the experience around and the new updates. So before we jump into that, can you tell the audience a little bit what Windows 365 Business is and how it is different from Windows 365 Enterprise?
Sure, absolutely. So Windows 365, as you know, any edition, it is all about getting the latest, always updated Windows experience to you in a fully packaged, fully delivered SaaS type solution, Now, in the Enterprise Edition, we focus more on the comprehensive management capabilities, reporting, analytics, and such that our enterprise companies need. They are more mature on the more advanced on the IT maturity curve, if you will. When we look at the small business IT, it is usually what we see is citizen IT, and I'm talking about 300 seats and lesser, and that's who we have designed the Windows 365 Business product for. There, the things to emphasize are simplicity, time to value, and the basic set of admin capabilities that are needed to get the users productive. And it was with that in mind that we have created Windows 365 Business. So from a provisioning experience point of view, as you know, and as we have talked about, it's a three-step approach. You buy the license, you assign the license, and it's done. Your Cloud PC is ready for you, right? And now the new update that we are launching today, this will give you the layer of admin capabilities, the core layer of admin capabilities that are important to get your users productive, whether it is OS choice or user privilege level, basic user management. We've brought all these features together in one portal that you can focus on and get your users productive, and then move on to the other tasks that you have in managing your business. Because what we have seen is the IT head in a small business is rarely only an IT head. They usually have more responsibilities.
Yeah, and SMB has one of those areas where virtualization has been sort of unaddressed, right? Like it has been sort of a black spot in virtualization. It has been around, but it was too expensive or too complex. And Windows 365 Business is here to really fulfill that gap and bring that simplicity to those customers and partners as well. And can you touch base on like that simplicity level? Like it's all cloud native, right? So can you tell about like what are the requirements, or is it all Azure AD and native, for example?
Yes, it is. It is all born in the cloud. So let me walk through what you need. What you need is a good internet connection, and basically that's it. You can come in with a Microsoft 365 account, and most of our customers do. That's great. If you don't have a Microsoft 365 account, you can just go to our product page, buy the product, and we will set up a tenant for you. So that's the tenant side of it. On the identity side, Of course, if you have an Azure AD identity tied to your Microsoft 365 account, we'll use that. Otherwise, with your new tenant, we will create an Azure AD tenant for you too. In terms of bringing in your cloud or any other prerequisites, there are absolutely none. In fact, we even bundle in the basic Windows rights that you need to access your Cloud PC. From that point on, all things that all the licenses that you will need are based on your productivity needs, right? So if you want Office, you will have to bring your Office license and all those things on the app side of things. But from Cloud PC access point of view, there are absolutely no prerequisites.
Yeah, that are great insights. And I personally always, when I talk with customers or with community or do a session, I reflect back to Exchange on-prem to Exchange Online and Office 365. That simplicity, that easiness to configure that's exactly what you can experience with Windows 365 Business as well. And we are not making it nicer than what it is. You will demonstrate it. So the audience will see it eventually if they wait a little bit longer, like a couple of minutes longer, when we kick in the demos later on. So one question we get a lot, like, is Intune supported for Windows 365 Business? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So of course, if you have an Intune license, Windows 365 Business machines can be enrolled into Intune. And from that point onwards, the experience is just like enrolling any other physical device into Intune. The thing to remember here, though, is that with our enterprise product, it has been designed inside MEM from an experience as well as core integration point of view. And there are a host of other features that come to you because we are designed within MEM and so well integrated within MEM for the enterprise product. For the business product, we know that many of our customers do not feel the need for a device management solution or endpoint management solution. And we are fulfilling the needs of those customers as well as giving them an option to enroll their Cloud PCs, their Windows 365 Business Cloud PCs into Intune if they need to.
Yeah, that's great. And we see a shift as well in the usage of Intune in combination with virtualization. So really that full-fledged environment with Intune is great for enterprises, but if you want to go like simple and as well have a comprehensive experience, then Windows 365 Business is like the best pick for you. So great insights. And let's just, before we jump into the demos, can you throw in some of the announcements we have today and the releases?
Sure, absolutely. So today is about fulfilling the promises we made at Ignite a few weeks ago. We said that we will be launching Windows 11 support, a new enhanced management experience, completely portal-led, control over user privileges, OS choice, device-based admin actions. And then we will also bring all of this through Graph APIs so that they can be utilized by our partners who want to manage Windows 365 Business on behalf of their customers. I'm happy to say that today we are delivering on all those promises, and I just can't wait to show you around.
Yeah, that's great. We have been working closely together on this, so great work by you and the team. So enough talking, right? Let's jump into the demo, how it works.
Yes, and before we jump into the demos, I just want to do one quick shout out to my entire team. So Ivalo, Alex, Colby, and the entire engineering team who has come together to produce this awesome, complete SMB product. So proud of the work. It's an honor to represent your work. Christian, let's start with the three-step provisioning process. I talked a little bit about how simple it was to set up your Windows 365 Business Cloud PC, right? So let's start in an environment that is familiar to many of our viewers, the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. What we will do here is buy a license and then assign a license, and then that will be the end. We will move on to a provisioned Cloud PC. Of course, you can also buy a license from our product page. Let's show you how to purchase a license from right within the Microsoft 365 Admin Console. So I go in go into purchase services, and I will see Windows 365 pop up as a product category here. There it is. I go in, I see all the different versions, and of course you have the Windows Hybrid benefit, very important for small businesses who already have Pro, they get a discount. So for today, let's just go in here and see how you go about selecting the kind of Cloud PC you want. So it's laid out for you in terms of a simple drop-down. You see they're grouped together by the size of compute, and then you've got different sizes of storage for each. You select the quantity and you say buy. I'm on a demo tenant. I'm not going to go through the whole purchase experience here. Once you click buy, that puts the number of licenses that you need onto your tenant. So now, if I go into users, I can assign a Cloud PC to any of my users. So let's see here on this tenant, I've got Lee Gu, who is unlicensed. Let's go ahead and give Lee a Cloud PC. I go in, click that.
It rhymes, by the way. It's a good pick.
It does, doesn't it? So awesome. So I go here and see, I will go within licenses and apps, and I give them, say, business standard and a Cloud PC. Now here you will also see that I've got 20 of 25 licenses available. So 25 is my total license inventory, and I have assigned only 5 of them till now. So I've got 20 of them remaining, similarly as you would expect from any Microsoft 365 workload. That you assign, you save the changes, and at this point you are done. So what is happening in the background here, I'll just take a quick second to explain that, is we got the signal from you, the service is going in, they're setting up your Cloud PC, and then we're start kicking off the provisioning process. From this point on, all that needs to happen is for the end user to go into the Cloud PC portal and just begin using their Cloud PCs. So I'm going to switch into that experience for now. So I'm at windows365.microsoft.com, the Cloud PC portal as we like to call it. You go in here, and I'm now going to sign in as Lee Gu, the person who I just assigned a Cloud PC license to. So here, Lee Gu is now signed in to windows365.microsoft.com. They can see that their Cloud PC is getting set up. And now, while their Cloud PC is getting set up, they can take a quick tour of what Cloud PC is, how to get started. We give new users a quick tour of how to get situated and get productive. Now, the provisioning process typically takes between 15 and 45 minutes, depending on what kind of load we are seeing on the service. So now I would like to sign out here and show you what a live user's experience looks like once your Cloud PC is already provisioned. So let's switch over to that now. Awesome. So now I'm going to go in as Tony Gomez, who already has a Cloud PC. And we're going to see what their experience looks like. And that allows me to show off a couple of cool features and some new announcements too. So as you can see, this is the fully provisioned state for the end user. They are able to see all their Cloud PCs horizontally laid out over here. Up top, there are some quick actions that they can do. They can, of course, take the product tour again. And so it's a self-contained experience. Of course, what I'm about to show you right now is about launching the Cloud PC from your browser itself. However, you can choose to launch your Cloud PC through installed clients. We have OS-specific clients across Windows, iOS, Mac, and a host of other OSs. Okay, so for Tony Gomez, we see that it's a Windows 11 device that we have for him. It's a 2 vCPU, 8 GB of RAM, and the storage number there. We're just going to go in and log in to the Cloud PC.
And this is a good call out perhaps for the new web portal experience, right? That we just released as well in the public preview that you can see on the screen here. So,
yes, absolutely. Okay, so there you have it, your brand new Cloud PC. It is on Windows 11, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things. First, that this is a Windows 11 Cloud PC. Now, as you know, Windows 365 Enterprise announced same-day support with the Windows 11 launch, and we said we would be bringing it to Windows 365 Business soon, and there you have it. A couple of things more here that I wanted to point out is that you will see that this machine is completely compliant from a security as well as TPM point of view with Windows 11 hardware requirements. So for folks out there, if you own your small business and you want to test drive Windows 11, check out Windows 365 Business as a way to do that too. And of course, we want your users productive on it too.
And one extra call out, secure boot is enabled as well, as I can see. So all kinds of extra enhancements to secure your Cloud PC environment. So great news.
That's exactly right. And as we were talking before, this is an Azure AD joined Cloud PC. So it is joined directly to your Azure AD tenant that you have on your Microsoft 365. I want to show you a couple of things that we have now released on the admin side. So now I'm signed in as an administrator for Windows 365 Business. As you can see, it is the same URL, so windows365.microsoft.com, and we switch the experience based on what kind of user is signing in. In this case, it is Mallory Cortez, who is a global admin on the Microsoft 365 tenant. So you see this new tab pop up called Your Organization's Cloud PCs. Now, this is the one place where you can manage all your Cloud PC actions. So you can add a new user, so you don't need to cut out and go to the Microsoft 365 tenant. You can assign licenses, you can do simple password management, and you can do updated organization settings from here too. All this experience is equivalent of what you will get in the admin center. So Mac also has these same experiences. It's your choice. You can choose to manage your Cloud PCs in any place. Now, within the update organization settings, you have two simple but powerful push button, radio button experiences. The first one is, what kind of users do you want on your tenant? Do you want all of them to be local administrators or standard users? You can choose that from right here. This setting will apply to all Cloud PCs on your tenant unless you override them at the device level. And I'll show you that in a quick second. The second choice, of course, is your operating system. Do you want Windows 11 or do you want Windows 10? We will leave it at Windows 11 for this tenant because, of course, we want the latest and greatest. But we do understand that in some cases, you might want to give your users Windows 10 PCs. So there you have it, the simple approach to administering your Cloud PCs through just a couple of radio buttons that still give you the full control over your user's experience. Now, let's go into a little more specific or device-related admin functionality. So when you click on, say, Adele's user row, a card opens up. You can see all her Cloud PC devices. And then you can do certain actions on the device, like restart it, which is just like a normal Windows restart. You can reset it, which is basically a clean reprovision. It preserves the name and everything, but it is a clean reprovision of the Cloud PC. You can rename it, and you can change the account type. That means that Adele, who is right now a local administrator, you can change the account type to standard user and confirm, and that will make her a standard user. So you will see this progress button as you click on the action, and then it'll complete. Okay, and there you have it. The account type for this Cloud PC was changed. I do want to touch on another action here, which is the reset action. Now, if a user gets into a bad state with their Cloud PC, you might choose to reset their Cloud PC. But while you're resetting their Cloud PC, you can also do a couple of changes there to make sure they don't get into a bad state or change the state of their Cloud PC. So when you ask for a reset, it will give you some information on what exactly will happen, like reinstall Windows, remove end users, and you've got the list right there. You say yes, you go to the next screen, and there's a couple of options. The same options around account type and OS choice that you got at the tenant level, you get over here too. So within the reset option, you can choose to change the user privilege level as well as the OS. And then you say next, we're just keeping it on the defaults. And then you confirm, and that will confirm Adele's reset of the Cloud PC. We're not going to click confirm because we don't want Adele to lose her Cloud PC right now while it resets. But there you have it. That's a quick kind of tour as to what you can do administration-wise with your Windows 365 Business Cloud PCs. As you can see, within the user tab, you can also see what all licenses and apps are defined or assigned to this user. So for example, Adele has Business Standard and a 2V CPU Cloud PC. This view is again consistent with everything that you would expect and see on the Microsoft 365 admin console. So that's the new admin experience that we just put into market. Krishan?
This is great, and this is one of those examples of Windows 365 Cloud PC doesn't require VDI knowledge. It's easy, it addresses the need for virtualization for hybrid remote work, and that's where we want to be. And if you have any feedback because you want to have an extra feature and just extend the platform to address the need for customers for yourself, where can folks give feedback, Joydeep, on this product?
Yeah, we've made it super easy to give feedback and ask for new features. So this is aka.ms/W365 feedback. And please go there, try out the new experience, tell us what other features you need that conserve the simplicity, but still give you the power over the experience that you need. And as of course, we're still so early in the life cycle of this service, we are hungry for feedback. So keep talking to us.
Yeah, great. And how can people stay in touch with you on social media or any other platform?
So I'm Joydeep W365 on Twitter. And you can find me on LinkedIn, of course. Just search for Joydeep Mukherjee, Microsoft. And those are the two main ways that I like to keep in touch with customers and everyone in social media.
I like your handle. I feel the passion in the creation of your account for the product. So that's very
You
awesome.
have the same passion, Krishan, so yeah.
So thank you, Joydeep, for being our fourth guest and talk about Windows 365 business. And thank you for watching again and being a consistent member of the Windows in the Cloud and Windows 365 community. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter as well at brink_C. And we hope to see you next time. So happy New Year, Christmas, and enjoy the precious time with your family. See you soon.